Okay, guys. So today we're going to be talking about health tech, how to move into health technology if you're in healthcare. And this is one of my favorite topics. And I know I always say this is a favorite topic, but I believe that careers in general are my favorite topics. So I have a whole family of healthcare professionals from nurses, LBNs. They started from the bottom. I even have some doctorates in my family. And so I really like when we're able to blend fields together. And I do understand that for a lot of people in healthcare, and I'm going to just say real quietly, we be wanting to say that patients are peasants. And we also want to make sure that we start to move into roles that have a lot more flexibility. Now, let me see who all up in here today. I see Khadijah, Lakendra, Chiquita, Sharon, Turkish, Margie, Neen, hi Samba, Chiquita. And we got some nurses up in here, dialysis nurse. Okay. Government realty specialist. Okay. I want to see what other fields you guys are in. So I really want to make sure today we're able to cover all things healthcare, how to transition into health tech. And we have one of our bees who was working as a sonographer who ended up opening up her own consulting firm, Giovanna. She took our instructional design DEI masterclass. And so I want her to discuss her transition into health tech as well. And then I also want to get some of you guys up here so we can look at your career, look at how easy it is for you to transfer into health technology roles and what that even looks like. I do understand that for a lot of people, sometimes tech roles or the tech industry seems like there's like some nerds, some nerd girlies who making a lot of money and they get to work from home. And we like, well, how do we get there, right? And so today I want to make sure that we cover that. I see we have a dialysis RN. Nisi, how long you been a dialysis RN? Okay, Khadijah, program specialist, social work. Chiquita's a high school history teacher, lead teacher. Oh, hey, Takesha, nonprofit senior director. Margie's a nurse. What type of nurse are you, Margie? Oh, we got a lot of healthcare people here. And you guys are very much needed. Okay, so and I also want to talk about the new things that we have going on in Black on the Job and what that looks like. So we did give you guys a little bit of a scare earlier last week, and we were trying to introduce our new AI workshop. So next week, I hope you guys have signed up because we're doing a free, yes, free chat GPT workshop from our Colony Collaborative series. We have our leg from our B Corporation that we're trying to strengthen to where we're able to bring free resources to the people in our community who needs it the most. So we do know AI is here. I know a lot of us may be scared of it or like, okay, how can it relate to my role? And so I want to make sure that we look at that as well and see, okay, now that we know that AI is here, there are different careers that are coming out of AI, especially for those of you guys who have a history of careers that were more like jobs, right? So it's like, okay, if I'm in data entry, can I be replaced? If I'm in customer service, can I be replaced? And we want to make sure that we address what that need is because AI is now an entirely new career field, right? So let's take, for instance, the healthcare industry. AI will be its own industry as well. Well, it is its own industry. When we look at healthcare, you can do anything in healthcare, such as HR, right? So you could be an HR manager at a hospital. So, what industry do you work in? You work in healthcare, but what career field do you work in? HR. And so now that we have a new career field AI and a new industry AI, there are a lot of different roles as well as companies that are dedicated. So it could be an AI company, right? So let's say, for instance, you do customer service at Apple. Your industry is tech, right? But your career field could be customer service. So we have companies that are AI, which is its own industry, um, as well as a career field as well as AI. It's so confusing, but it's not. So to give you an example, some of the roles that we've been able to move people into recently. Oh, I didn't know you can private chat up over here, Giovanna. Girl, learn me, girl. Learn me. She just sent me a message. Okay, she made me lose my train of thought almost. So, for instance, we have over 70, I think it's 72, 71 or 72 different roles that we have moved people to in AI. Some of the good things about it that has came from that is number one, it's such a new industry that there is no degree needed, right? So let's say, for instance, you want to work in AI, there's no such thing as getting your master's in AI. And a lot of people are a little confused on that. They're like, oh, well, that's for people who have a data science background or an analyst background, or they have a degree in instruction, in information technology. That's not true. We are at about 71 or 72, I forget which number it is, of different roles we've been able to move bees into. 71 and 72 roles. But since January, we've helped move about 400 different bees, from everything from an prompt engineer to a data specialist. We have done AI consultant. We have done one of my favorite roles is an AI discovery implementation specialist, and that was from one of our teachers. It's been a wonderful experience, just even going to these conferences, learning about how AI is changing industries, and learning about the industry itself. And I love, love, love how it's shaping up. And this is a good time for us at the ground level as Black people to get in where we fit in and kind of ride the wave up. What I want a lot of us to think of it as is like, let's say, for instance, you started working. I'm 33, so I ain't showing my age. I'm still young. Let's say, for instance, you started working in tech for Apple when you worked next to Steve Jobs. You weren't working in tech with a tech degree. No, right? So I have ran into people, jobbies such as yourself, who've been in the tech field for 40 years and they don't have a degree because when they started, no degree was even made yet. So as AI is just now coming out, and before y'all know these greedy schools, y'all know how they go, before they start making degrees and make it more difficult and creating barriers for us in the Black community to move in, let's get in now. And that is the reason why this other field of instructional design is so important for me, especially for our social services and our healthcare workers. That includes social workers, teachers, case managers, sonographers, as Giovanna is going to speak about soon. We're going to talk about what health tech looks like, how to use it, how she's been able to use instructional design to even open up her own consulting business and kind of move deeper into the tech world and deeper into business by just grabbing at different skills and functions and being able to expand. You welcome, Ty. Ty been rocking with me for a while, y'all. Of course, governor reality specialist, Tamiska, provider data quality, a federal government. Oh, 21 years. Damn, Nisi. Shit, you doctor status in the nursing world. Okay. So without further ado, Giovanna, am I able to message you back on here? Hey B, you ready? I guess if it's a private message, I should be saying it out loud, Lord, huh? Look at y'all, look at y'all. Okay, I will put you. I am. Okay, okay. There, I can't see the message neither. I love this. Hey, Giovanna. And we can't hear you. Did I do it? No, you did it.
It's me, my bad. I had it on mute.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Giovanna joined us in 2022. We're also Facebook friends, so I'm gonna brag on her just a little bit. So Giovanna actually followed one of our mutual friends who led us over here, Ariana Long. And she messaged me one day and she was just like, I really want to get into business. I want to do something different. And I was like, okay, well, if you want to get into business, you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is. Go ahead and pay for this instructional DEI course and I'll see if you're really about it. And she messaged me back. All she said was, okay. And I was like, okay, girl, we'll see what happens. Right. I start class with Dr. Miller, my sister, right? And I look up at Giovanna inbox me privately, tell me, here I am. I said, well, damn, girl. Okay, okay. That was in 2022. And since then, I have seen her flourish. I remember I did a live not too long ago about CEOs being paid to be. And for those of you guys who don't know, being a consultant is being an individual contributor, one, but it's also running your own company. You're a 1099 contractor, you do your own taxes. And so, one of the things about being a CEO is being able to be and be executionary, right? So, I was looking at Giovanna's post when she first was starting to talk about what she wanted to do, for you cool kids who be hugging the trees and playing with the moon water, y'all may be calling it manifestation and shit. I was seeing Giovanna put stuff on her Facebook like, one day I will have a consulting firm.
You know
One
what?
day I will. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what? I'm going to help moms. One day I will. And I kept looking. I said, well, damn, throw it on the table, right? Then I saw her start her. Girl, I've been watching you. I
I
started.
see.
I look good. I be in the cut. Okay, I be in the cut. I like to follow y'all bees. I like to, there's certain bees I follow to truly see and to prove to myself that if you want to, you can. Especially being Black women, we see so much online about what we're doing wrong, and everybody has an opinion. So when I really see someone going after it, first off, I want to see how long it's gonna last, right? Because sometimes we come in hot, then we just wait
Yeah.
you know and I saw like she was promoting her podcast, and she was asking for feedback, and she wasn't getting any feedback. So I refused to like a post, and I refused to comment. I was like, I'm gonna see if nobody comment and nobody like her shit, will she keep at it? So I actually I'm gonna have to send you a screenshot. I had a reminder on my phone after 90 days, check Giovanna's post.
You
So
know
I
what?
went back 3 months later, went to your Facebook. I said, oh, she's still popping. Oh, she's still popping. Okay. And she kept going at it, kept going at it. And it's just been beautiful to see. So, first off, I was getting sonography and whatever the people call it that do the ear stuff confused.
I
That
don't
was
even know.
I said, she is that's stenographer, a sonographer. What they do? That was number one. I was confused there, y'all.
It's all
Then
right.
it
Everybody is.
okay, so I was
Yeah.
very confused. Then I started listening to the podcast. I said, "Oh, okay, okay." And I'm not gonna lie, me and Dr. Miller, as well as Tandy, we talked about you so much after class about how we saw your growth, how we saw how intentional you were about, I'm gonna do this. And the moment I knew that, like, you know what, that's the CEO, is that when I realized that you were gonna go for broke. That when I realized that, oh, ain't nothing stopping her. Ain't nobody got to like one of these posts. She gonna post again tomorrow. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it. You don't gotta. It doesn't matter if you didn't see it, because she got something else for you to see the next day. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna continue to follow her. So without further ado, Giovanna, let them know who you be.
First off, I did not. I swear I did not know you knew all of that. First
Oh,
off.
I
Oh, now
follow.
I feel special. Oh man. Hey, you are so right. So yes, Arian, I have made a post in 2022 like I need a new job. I hate this. I need a change. Somebody fix my life. And yeah, she said, "Oh, join Black on the job." I said, "Bet." And so I joined, and I was like, "Oh, what they doing?" And I hopped on some lives. I said, "Yep, whatever she's selling, I'm buying." I purchased a whole, I think it was the career makeover package. And we got on, I talked to Sin, we got on the phone. She was like, "I wanted to talk to you." I said, "Okay, well, fix my life because I don't know what I want to do, but this ain't it." And we went through my resume, my skills, everything. And Sim was like, "Oh, training and development." I was like, "Okay." She made my resume. And when she gave me my resume, I was like, "Who is this?" I said, "I do all this." "Oh, okay." I said, "All right." I do all of this. All right. And so I had a career coaching call that kind of prepped me with questions and things like that. Cause I also told Sin, like, I don't know how to transition out of ultrasound. I've been doing it for, at that time, 15 years. That's what I know.
Wait a
And
minute. So the ultrasound people are the sonography people?
ultrasound and
Okay, y'all
sonographer,
gotta pick,
same
y'all
thing.
gotta pick a title. That's what's confusing. I knew something was up because I just saw in here somebody put stenographer Margie. Tell them to stop this. Y'all doing like the Africans do when they got two first names. Y'all gotta pick one first name. I tell all the Africans on my team.
I usually say ultrasound tech because everybody knows what it is. And they like, oh, you look at babies. And then I'm like, no, I look at everything but babies. I don't do babies except for in my business. But I was like, so I did a career coaching call and prepped me. I started applying for jobs. I had also told Sin I didn't know anything. Like, I'm like, I don't know how to transition sonography skills into anything else. I don't know. And I remember you telling me, you know what you know. And you've been training for years. So that's what we're going to do. And I ended up leaving the job I was at.
Aggressive.
You are, but I needed it.
You know what, Devon? I'm glad you brought this up. Let me tell y'all be something, okay? And y'all decide what I'm calling you when I say bees, okay? You could be a jobby or something else. Y'all always be like, I want to have a call with admin said. Y'all have to understand the admin sin of the Facebook group is not the admin sin you get in career coaching. I don't have no sympathy for you. What I do have is direction. Okay. So when y'all
Very
be like,
direct.
call with admin saying, realize that I take this shit real serious, right? And I want you to do your best. So sometimes people be crying and on call, they be like, Sin, I don't think that I could do it. Okay. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna apply to this job tonight.
Yes. She said, these are the jobs you should apply for. I said, what? Okay. All right. And so that's how I started on the journey of like, okay, I don't have to be stuck here. And then I took the DEI course. So they were posting about DEI and ID. So I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I didn't know what instructional design was.
Okay.
I think I hopped on the live and was like, yeah, that don't sound like me. That sounds like technology. I don't do technology. It's not my area. But I was like, okay, I like DEI. So I'm going to sign up for the course. Pay for the course, show up to the class. It was like 40, I think. 40 people in that session. And when I logged in, it was like, oh, y'all going to do work. You have assignments. You have homework. I said, what? I got to do what? It was like, yeah, this is gonna be due on Tuesdays, and you got to turn this in by Thursday, and by next Saturday, you need to have this. I said, oh my God, I gotta do work. Okay.
Okay.
But it was so helpful because doing the work made me recognize, like, okay, girl, you do know some stuff. And while I was still very intimidated by instructional design, because when Tandy would talk, I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. What is that language? She want me to create a PowerPoint? I could never. And so I was very intimidated, but I'm like, I know the stuff. I have the knowledge. I know what I know. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do it in my own way so that I don't stress myself. And so I think
right there. I want y'all to put in the chat. You know what you know. Put I know what I know. This is something I tell y'all all the time. I know what I know. I know what I know.
yes. And so I think it was the last day of class, we had to present what we came up with.
Talk, girl. I'll be making them talk. I'll be making them talk.
For instructional design. And she's like, I need like 7 volunteers. And I'm just sitting in the corner, like, I'm not volunteering. I'm not. And they were like, so Giovanna, would you like to do yours? And I'm like, can I say no? I don't think I can say no. I said, okay. And I presented because I realized that first off, in order for me to really do training and development, I have to be able to speak to large groups of people, not just my 2 and 3 sonographers or my trainees at a time. And also, I really wanted to be good at this. So I said, okay, I'm going to put this presentation together, even though my PowerPoint skills are terrible. And I forewarned everybody, it was not going to be cute. Let me just say that. But the information was going to be good. So I initially started with the mindset of I would use instructional design and DEI as an advocate for my daughter who has autism. And I did a presentation on for healthcare facilities, pediatric healthcare facilities, and how to care for children on the spectrum and work with their caregivers, because my experience has been very challenging with people understanding her and also listening to me as her parent and thinking, not understanding that I do know what's best for her. Like, I know what you're used to. She is not going to do what you're telling her to do. And so I created a presentation. Everybody was like, that was so good. And you did great. And I'm like, really? Because that took a lot.
Okay, Giovanna is being shy. Giovanna blew that shit out the water. We don't sit in there looking at like, okay, so this is the same Giovanna that every day we tell Giovanna, okay, Giovanna, we're gonna be working on this. I don't know if I can do that. And
Yep.
we went there. I didn't know nothing about them kids. I know nothing about the spectrum. I didn't know if it was rainbow. Let me tell y'all, I knew about mental health awareness when it came to that and how kids were on the spectrum when Giovanna told me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't care how many mothers in the room, and I know it's a lot of y'all. I thought you niggas was on some bullshit. Every time I looked around, one of y'all kids was on the spectrum. I said, damn, how large is the spectrum? This is an orbit at this
It
point.
is.
And I had chopped it up to y'all was just lying. I swear to God, I was like, this is like when they was trying to tell us that they badass kids have behavior disorder situation disorders. They call it behavior disorder. No, the kid is bad. So I'm like, okay, so the kid can't sit down for 8 hours in a classroom. Shit, I can't
Yep.
either. Ain't no the way I swear. But when Giovanna broke it down, I became an advocate. I started becoming an advocate for children and holistic teaching. I was like, have you tested your child to see if they're on the spectrum? Because you may need to make sure that you're having inclusionary practices.
I'm glad. See?
I was throwing people your way because before I was the one. I'm be honest with all y'all because I don't care. I ain't got no kids. I was like, they don't want to watch their kids because it's the pandemic, and now they came up with a new name for their badass kids that's bored. That's what I thought autism was for the children. Write a book about it. I don't care.
Oh my God. And this is why I said that was going to be my area, because it's so many people who think that. And so I was like, yep, this is my lane. This is what I'm going to do. And I put the presentation together. I used the tools from the ID class because thank God they gave us templates, because I'm like, I don't put nothing together on my own. And I was like, okay, I got this. Like I put a presentation together and I did good. And I finished the class and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I did an interview with Dr. Miller.
Yes.
And we did a career coaching call and I kind of just talked about what I wanted to do. And she was like, okay, I have an opportunity for you. She said, I want you to present to my nursing students at UCLA. I said, oh, like for in person, like you want me to
Blue out, y'all.
And she said, yeah. I said, all right. And so I had to put another presentation together. And yep, I pushed through. I said, we're going to figure out how to do this in Canva. Let me copy and paste some pictures. And I put together a whole presentation on gender pronouns because I work in IVF as a sonographer. Presented it. They loved it. Went great. I was like, okay, I have a future here. I have a future in facilitating and designing trainings.
And you know what you know.
And I
See,
know what I know.
she knew what she know. And Giovanna, I love what Shardella said, breaking the generational misconceptions. You're right, Shardella, because I made a joke out of it, but I started to understand a lot more. And I truly believe it made me a better auntie. It made me a better advocate for children when
Mhm.
I'm around them. It actually made me more patient because the things that she was teaching on, it made me realize that, you know what? This is a blind spot for Black people. And we're very collective, community oriented people, but maybe there is a way that I can challenge myself to meet the needs of these young learners better.
Mhm.
Right. And so when I was going through your presentation and understanding it, I do agree with what you said, Shardella. I think because whenever I had previously saw stuff around autism, it was a bunch of these white kids that had snotty noses. And
Mhm.
so when she brought things within a Black language and Black lens, it wasn't from the same educational space. And it really, because instructional design learning, training and development is under the umbrella of instructional design. So when I had told her, it was training and development, I was telling her she needs to be an ID. Instructional design is the industry, and her career path was training and development. And so honestly, I really understand even more why you are so important, because there are things that are relatable to. She had something, and I don't know if you had explained it, but this is what's so profound to me because I always remember it. Was you had something about little girls with the baubles and how
Mhm.
they click clack them, and that's a nervousness, like a nervous reaction. They may be feeling anxious, and so they start playing with their little baubles. And I have a little niece named Bricky Cookie, and so I remember I was asking my little Brookie Cookie, a question, and she's 4. So she had like lied. And I was like, okay, Brookie, why did you lie? And she started like shaking her head.
Mhm.
And Giovanna told us, she educated us on the fact that sometimes we may think that the child is being disrespectful, or we may think that the child is not paying attention, or we may think that the child, is just, being like a child. But in reality, this is her showing that she's having an anxiety attack.
Yep.
And instead of us understanding that right now this little girl's in a crisis,
Mhm.
we go off on her. So I asked her, she's like, I don't know, auntie. And she started clicking her hair, she started doing this. Then she was like, I think that maybe. And them balls was just the clacking. And I remembered that anytime she did that previously, that shit will piss me off. Like, girl, stand still and answer my damn question. But this time I was like, okay, you know what? Let's take an alligator breath. And she was like, okay, okay. And she took a big old alligator breath. And I said, okay, now give Auntie Cece a hug. And she gave me a hug. And I said, okay, let's sit on the floor together. And so then I had got it like a little ball that she had, and I rolled the ball to her. And I said, okay, did I just give you a ball? She said, yeah. I said, do you like the ball? She said, yeah. I said, okay. Well, Auntie Cece is not okay with what you gave me because you
Right.
didn't give me the truth. So I need for you to give me the ball, give me the truth like I gave you the ball. And she kept rolling the ball. We kept rolling the ball back and forth, and we were able to have a truthful conversation. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, well, educate me then. Okay, educate me. So I am so appreciative of your work. I really am.
Thank
I,
you. Yeah, because I'm constantly advocating and teaching people, especially in healthcare, just because most people don't interact with in pediatric offices, they don't know how to interact with children that are on the spectrum. And so just being able to advocate for her and knowing how to do it and what to say and how to get them to understand was very helpful because I've done a lot of training, a lot of training. I've never actually put trainings together until I took the ID course. And then I got to work and I was like, let me do this. Let me gather all the information and put it all together for y'all so that y'all can continue to do this when I leave. Because I'm leaving. But y'all will at least have the training to use when I'm gone. And after that, I got a new job.
where we were.
And so I like startups. I know a lot of people don't like startups, but I'm gonna tell you the pro of startups. When you go to a startup, especially in health tech, they are more inclined to give you chances and opportunities because they don't know nothing themselves. Like, they're lost. They're hiring people with experience. They're paying you good because they know they got to pay you to come to this startup. And they're going to take chances on you if you tell them you know something because they need to know it. So,
And guess what? Go ahead. What did you write? Write it again, y'all. And you know what you know. Put it in the
and
comments.
you
I
know what you
know
know.
what I
And
know.
I use it to my advantage. So I left one startup, went to another startup. I got in there. I'm like, okay, what does my day to day look like? And they're like, girl, we don't know. You tell us. I said, okay. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create all the training since y'all have nothing, but we're gonna change my job title in 5 months. That's all I'm giving y'all. I'm gonna give y'all 5 months. I'm gonna do a review. I want to raise on the new job title. We agreed to that. So I started creating SOPs, training documents, clinical workflows, processes. Um,
Did the
and then
class
that
help
company,
you? Are you like referring a lot from the information you learned from Tandy and Dr. Miller?
yes, utilizing what I learned in the course combined with what I just knew from working in healthcare to just let them know, like, because I knew IVF. So I'm like, yeah, y'all are not going to be successful if you keep operating like this. This is what we should be doing. And I used a lot of my templates from the ID course to create like little toolkits and little brochures and things like that for them to utilize and standardize across their 5 clinics. Unfortunately, that company did go bankrupt while we were working there over the summer. Whole catastrophe of a mess. And another company, startup, bought our clinic here in Atlanta. And again, as a startup, they have no processes. So they're like, okay, what y'all been doing? We like, nothing. I mean, okay, here we go again. And so it's like, I'm the only person in my clinic who has IVF experience. So again, I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I love being a sonographer. I love my patients, but I cannot continue to function in this role because I know too much and it limits me and it doesn't allow me to use everything that I've invested in myself, all the courses I've paid for, all the degrees I have. Like, you have to allow me the space to use what I know. That way you guys can be successful and I can get what I want. Because I'm always a person, I don't do nothing for free. Let me just put that out there.
Look, nothing.
I'm getting something.
So, Giovanna, let me ask you because now you are in health tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you are applying for roles and moving up through startup companies, do you feel as though your lack of like a technical degree is holding you back in any way?
I honestly no, I thought it would. And that was because I thought I was leaving healthcare. So when I came to you, I said, I don't want to be in healthcare. Find me a job. And you were like, okay. Anyway. But working in healthcare and health tech companies, no, it does not hinder me because I don't have to know all the things tech. We have a whole IT department. We have a whole learning and development team. All I have to do is know the information. I'm a manual girl. Like, they know that's my strength. Don't ask me to do no PowerPoint. I'm not. But if you need a manual, you need a toolkit, you need a brochure, you need something simple, straight to the point, little cards, I can do those in my sleep. And so that's what I do for my job. And I made them change my job title. I said, if you are going to keep coming to me to do these things, I know you're not going to give me a raise because we're not profitable. So it doesn't make business sense, right? But you're going to give me a job title.
Okay,
And
so let me pause. So
Mhm.
even when, because this is something that a lot of people get confused about, when we say that instructional design is a big industry, right? If she's working in training and development, I want you guys to also hear that she's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, she doesn't have to do the exact training. She doesn't have to be the person that's up there training because some of you guys say, well, you know what, Sin, I got a fear of speaking. You ain't got to speak. Some of you guys say, you know what, Sid, I don't know how to code. You don't have to code. A lot of you guys have written curriculum before. A lot of you guys have written case notes before. She's using her skills in sonography of taking case notes, educating patients. So I'll tell you guys how I transferred her. When I spoke to her, she told me that all she's ever done was ultratech. And the work that y'all do that I be hating, and my biggest challenge is when y'all come in a career coach and I say, so what do you do? You say, well, I just do ultratech. I just, I just, I just, that's all I know. That's all I do. And I said, okay, well, talk to me about what your day looked like. I mean, just like every other ultra tech, I talk to the patients, I let them know what they see, I do this. And I was like, okay, do you ever have to speak to the families? Do you have to do this? Do you have to do that? And so that is where I saw that is training and development. If you have to educate another human being on a process or something that they're unfamiliar with, that is education. You're just because your name is not teacher or your name is not instructioner doesn't mean that you're not educating. In healthcare, I am hard pressed, even down to the damn janitor, to find someone who works in healthcare that is not educating. If you work in customer service, you are educating customers. Let me tell you something. I got a real bad B. She make $220 a year. She was working at T-Mobile as a sales rep for I think 10 years or something. And we put her down the same road Giovanna went down. Why? Because she was the person. Okay, I got this. Oh, they twins. Oh, my peppermint twins. Okay, so one, I call her peppermint patties because one girl named Patty. So one of them worked as a sales rep for T-Mobile, and then during the pandemic, her sister got her a job, and both of them end up being transferred over to accounting, like when you got billing inquiries. And then she was like, "I can't do training and development." I said, "Anytime you got to tell a customer that yeah, you actually did spend all this money on your damn bill, you will pay it. That's them you educating them on compliance standards and consumer laws for communication, girl." So I got them both over that way. A lot of you guys don't see the beauty of what you do. And what I like to say is there's an industry that values that skill the most. Maybe in healthcare, they act like they don't care that you educated people and that you're training people and that you're developing them. Okay, I bet you I could find somebody who do. And now she's in a field to where everyone is coming to Giovanna because she knows what she knows. And they're saying, oh, you can educate me on sonography. You know how to speak to me in a way that's patient. I value that. I'm willing to pay you for your skill, your innate skill that you've learned as an ultra technician to educate a patient, break things down to them where they're nervous and have anxiety around big healthcare terms. You're able to de escalate situations, encourage people to make better choices, expand their knowledge base on medical terminology. That's where I see when I see an ultrasound technician. I don't see just a technician, I see someone who is very, very in tune with educating learners. I see someone who's able to break down complex problems and complex concepts to a person who may not even be in the headspace to understand that they're being educated, to influence someone to make a good decision, to motivate and empower one person as well as a large group of people. Because sometimes it could be a whole family who's sitting there nervous, waiting for results, right? Those are very valuable skills. And so that's what I see when I see ultrasound technician. Now, her having that educational background, I'm sure they be coming to you like Giovanna.
Every day. Every day. But it's fine because I will say, because of my resumes and because I was able to like finesse myself, I still ended up, when I left my first startup, I got like a $7,000 increase because I was hourly. When the new company took over this last job I have, they made me salary. I've never been salary before. At first, I was like, I don't want to be salary. That means you think you can control me. But then I said, because I don't work 40 hours a week. I work on average 35 because my daughter goes to therapy on Wednesdays. I clock out half a day every Wednesday. It's non-negotiable. I still get paid my 40 hours as a salary person. So right now, even though they didn't technically give me a raise, I still got a raise. and my
Oh,
job title, because now I make my salary, which is a very good salary to be a sonographer. Let me just say that, which is why I'm still at this startup. um, and I got my job title. So I don't complain because I'm also being utilized in the way I want to be. I'm expanding my own skill set. I'm utilizing everything that I've paid for to learn. And I know my job is safe. Like, they come to me for everything. They cannot function if I'm not there. And so, like, I've created that space for myself. And to be very honest, I'm happy. And most people are like, it's dysfunction. I can work in dysfunction because when I clock out, I clock out. I do my job very well. Now, if you don't follow my instructions, if you don't take these trainings, if you don't upload these guides, that's not a me problem. That is a you problem. I do the part I'm supposed to do. And I'm very happy with that.
oh my gosh. How is the work environment different for you? What do you feel as though, like, mentally has been a big change? Because sonography was weighing you down, right?
It was. And it was weighing me down because I felt like I was underutilized and I wasn't appreciated. Because when you're an allied health professional, you don't get seen like how nurses and doctors are like, yes, they are everything for healthcare. The rest of us are just like little helpers. And
Yeah.
so while I was typically the one doing a lot of the work in the clinics, I never felt like I was being fully utilized. So I wanted to escape that. So now my title is Quality Improvement Specialist, and it pretty much covers everything that I do. I run our egg donor program, so I coordinate everything for that. I do all of our clinical SOPs, our workflows. I go over before they implement new sets of processes. They have me review things to make sure it makes sense. I do all of the sonography training, so I've created big manuals, and I've also made it very clear it's my intellectual property, and they can utilize it and they can add their own pieces, but when I leave, the original document is mine and I will use it however I want because I created it from my brain from scratch. And you can't have it. And so it's been actually a very rewarding feeling because now I feel like I'm actually being used to my capacity and I feel valued in my role. Whereas before I felt like, okay, y'all only see me as a person to take pictures, but without me, you can't treat your patient. Now they know without me, they can't treat their patient.
You brought up a really good point, and this is not for you nurses or any of you guys to try to defend your industry. Don't do it. Just we know what y'all be like. Don't even be like the social workers who try to convince other social workers that all social workers make six figures lying through their teeth. Don't be a part of that crowd. We don't do it. When we look at the healthcare field, you're absolutely right. Well, after the doctor, it took a long time for nurses to actually get a voice in a healthcare system that was valued, right? And so that underutilized, and the reason why many people in many roles within healthcare say things like, I'm only this, is because that is how you're treated. And that is what I say when your skill set is not valued. To be honest, the person who is speaking to the patient is the most important person in the room because the patient is the one who's paying the hospital and paying their insurance in order for the hospital to even get paid. But when you're working in healthcare, your voice is not there. It's the same thing with the social service field, social workers, teachers, case managers. They will weaponize that, right? I believe, and I'll always stand on this, I stand on business. Hospitals, as well as schools, universities, they really pride themselves in institutionalizing people. And
Yeah.
you get to a point to where you don't even realize how expanded your skill set is and how important your voice is
Yeah.
until you start looking at other industries who's like, if someone works in technology, let's just be honest. If someone right now, and I got paid, let me tell y'all, I got paid so much money, I almost closed down this goddamn business. I gotta do this shit again. There was a company that came out recently, and I can't say their name. I got an NDA, y'all, and I can't pay them back. I promise you. They gave me so much money. I spent that shit so quick. I can't pay them back. But they wanted to build an app for like a job board app, right? But they wanted to build it for minorities. And they had the best of the best in tech. I mean, I was speaking with the same people who built some of like the chips that go into Tesla. I was speaking with the same people that was building, like two people on the team was part of the launch team of the AirPods. They were the person who actually created the fucking AirPod, right? This is who I'm sitting in the room with. Then the admin saying, y'all know I tried to come as black as possible. I had my life flowing, head, skin glowing, ass growing. Okay, I tried to bring my full blackety black self up in there because what they realized and what I knew, because I know what I know, is that I don't give a damn how much you've been paid. I don't care what fancy ass companies you work with. One thing you don't know is black career professionals. You can't build shit until I tell you what to build. You can't build shit till I tell you who the customer is. You can't do anything until I speak. So until I speak, you are powerless. I hold the power in this room, baby. And so as they start asking me additional questions, there became additional money needed. Like, oh, okay, so how do we continue to expand our line to directors of HRs within the Black community? The directors. Girl, I'm gonna have to give you my direct checking account information for direct shit like that. I do speak with directors, yes, but I need a direct deposit.
Yep.
Once I get a direct deposit, we can start talking about directors and I can direct you in the right direction. I will never forget that. They laughed so hard and they're like, okay, we're willing to add 1 to 2 more zeros. I said, shit, for three, I'll tell you how to get a CEO.
Oh my God. Now, I'm trying to get to that level. I'm trying to get to your level. I'm gonna get there.
You will, because guess what? You're already solidifying yourself in that space in technology to where if you want to do something sonography wise, if you want to take a picture and you want it to be automated, when they want an AI to do it, when they want to automate these workflows, when they want to build technology to, a cheaper version, a greater value and sell it to China, right? So China can sell it back to us for a little bit more money. When
Yep.
they need all that, they are going to need Giovanna because you're making your way through the industry. Oh, wow. Who wrote this really great manual? Giovanna. So what she is riding on, right? Her curtail is she know what she know. And
Yep.
so it does not matter what they build. They will still need a subject matter expert. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Subject matter expert. I'll tell y'all about one fancy person in the comments right now. My mama. My mama funny as hell. My mama got a boutique. Nickel City Baby. Everybody know Nickel City Baby up in Phoenix, y'all. And there are always different clothing boutiques who pop up, right? And everybody has their little clothing boutiques, and my mom has hers, but her background is running call centers. She don't got no degree, y'all. She just know money. And y'all know my story, so y'all know how she know money. And she knows sales. And if y'all know my background, y'all know how she knows sales. She did so well within call center that when companies come to Arizona and they really want to expand and they want to make $20 million within the first year or $10 million within the first year, they be like, oh, did you call Cynthia? She don't got no website, y'all. My mama, she typed like this.
Stop.
Sometimes she be typing, pisses me off. I said, Mom, what are you doing? I went to her house, y'all. I kid you not. Her mouse is still roll, and the keyboard sounds so damn loud, sound like those Bobbies and Brookie Cookie hair. I swear to God,
Don't do her.
You shouldn't know none of that stuff, and she don't need to. When she come in, she know what she know. They ask her questions like, Cynthia, are you going to be filling out the paperwork or how many hours you work? No, I won't. You gonna fill it out for me. I'm like, Mama, why are you be talking to them folks like that.
Cause she
But
can.
because she can, because when them checks start rolling in and everybody's happy, they be like, Cynthia did it. And she be at her Nickel City baby store running the call center from Nickel City Baby. She be making them pay for stuff at the I be like, Mom, what's going on? But she knows what she know, and they realize that there is a wall that's blocking them from reaching their next goal. And it's only one black woman in Arizona who got the key, the door, because she built the door, right?
Yeah.
You're in technology. They don't know shit about healthcare. Girl, you can go up in there today and let them
They,
know, okay, this is what y'all got to do. Y'all got to make everybody blow like this before they take a picture, or the picture won't work on the app. And they be like, okay, write that shit down.
that is so true.
Y'all get the blowing. They sit there and they ask, I don't know where my dog is. I've been looking for him. You know, they be sitting there asking, like, Giovanna, do you go like this or like this? And Giovanna,
And
like,
that is so true.
it's so true.
So true. And the thing I love the most is I can be a subject matter expert on all the things that I have perfected. And so I do a lot of training and development for and instructional design and catalogs and things for sonography, because of course that's my career. But I can do training and manuals and ID for women's reproductive health. I can do it for IVF and fertility. I can do it for urology. I can do it for just let's see, autism. I can do it for raising children with mental health diagnoses. I can do it for so many different things that I have learned and become an expert in over the 20 years I've been working. So it doesn't limit me to just sonography. I'm literally the expert in about 12 different areas because I know those areas like the back of my hand, and nobody can take that from me. I might not be able to create the prettiest PowerPoint, but I can create anything that you need to train your team. And then I give it to the people who create the cute little cartoons and the PowerPoints, because that's not my ministry. And so I don't have to know tech, because I was like, I need to know tech, I'm going to fail. When I didn't have to know tech, I was like, sign me up. Yes. What else can I teach? What else can I do under instructional design?
This is so cool. Do you feel as though with AI coming out, are you nervous, or do you feel that now that you're in health tech, as new technologies come out, you're expanding your knowledge base?
Oh, I feel like it's expanding, because what I've noticed, there's a lot of AI for ultrasound, because I was waiting for it to happen. I'm like, it's in every field, so it's coming for me. But what I do know is it can't take our jobs, because it still needs a human character to perform everything. And so it only helps me because I like to research things. So whenever I see this new contraption that they done came up with, I'm like, let me go research this. Okay, what country is this in? How successful have their trials been? And that's probably not going to last. Or, okay, I think I want to introduce this to my current company because I think it would be good for us to bring in more patients. Like, it'll give us an upper hand so we can increase our patient volume, so I can go ahead and get my raise next year, because y'all can give me my money. So it's not intimidating because I like research and I like to learn, and I always like to know what's going on. And I'm really a good judge of like, that's probably not going to work, because like they have a self-scanning ultrasound something for IVF, and I'm like, I don't know a single patient that's about to do this themselves at home. So that is cute, but I still have a job. They still gonna come to the clinic. And so I'm not worried, because the idea of it is cute, but the functionality of it is like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So I like to research the stuff for AI, and I get excited when I see the new things, because I'm like, okay, I want to try that. That ain't gonna work.
Okay. You know, with so many people, especially as an ultra tech, right? Your journey into tech, for a lot of people in healthcare, and not for lack of better words, is that you guys as technicians are seen as like, the janitors of the hospital, like the people that they
Mhm.
just kind of
Yep.
kicking around. Them nurses be mean as hell, girl. You put
Yes.
you put registered in front of a nurse and they didn't register for their little asshole training. I feel like one of the classes and they 4 boxes they got to take is how to be an asshole to other people in the hospital, And so now, like Dr. Miller says, she went from what did she say? From the bedroom to the boardroom, right?
Mhm.
And that's what a registered nurse, girl, them Howard University student loans higher than giraffe's ass, right? That's I tell my sister business. That's how she went from the bedside to the boardroom, y'all. She was up in that bedside. Howard University, she's still paying. They pay her to consult, and then she paid them for them loans and all that shit, right? So now you out there, right, in health tech, you know,
Mhm.
it must be real. I swear to God, I couldn't do it because I swear to God, I'd be so paid with these nurses. It must be real cute now. You ain't got them scrubs on. I see you at work. You don't be having them little scrubs on and shit. And I be trying to talk to them nurses acting real empathetic ish. Like, oh girl, they gave you how many patients? 12-hour shift. Child,
Yeah.
up in tech, we don't be doing no 12 hour shit. It's hard to get us to do 12 hours a week. But you know what? Your job matters.
And
Because
it does. It does. I love my nurses. I do. I love, especially my IVF nurses. But they always look at me like, "How are you over here on your phone?" And I'm like, "Cause you're the nurse. Like
like you
you
used to
have to do a lot more with the patient than I do. I did my work for the day, so I'm about to sit over here and mind my business and scroll on TikTok." And I might answer the phone here and there, but for the most part, my day is done.
tell.
And
And I'm playing with you, nurses. Honestly, what I really mean is that with nursing, there's so many different skill sets and career paths that are already built out. Right. So if you're a nursing, you could go nurse case manager. You could be, a healthcare consultant. And actually, Giovanna is a healthcare consultant. But when it comes to being RN, you guys have fought your way into having a voice that matters within multiple industries. I've seen nurses in DEI, such as my sister, but these are pathways that are very well known and already curved out. For the rest of us, right? The ones who are not always having a voice in the hospital. And when I say voice, I'm gonna be honest, having respect
yes.
for their craft, respect for the role that they also play within patient care. We may give them a little shout out, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like when the CEO say something, not what I say it though, my team, if y'all watching, not what I say it, but what other CEOs say they got more money than me. And they be like, I'm nothing without my team. And congrats.
Mhm.
They really taking all the credit. And there's so many other parts that play,
Mhm.
other positions that play a part in patient care that truly don't have a voice.
Yes.
I find it extremely admirable that now you are also kind of paving, trailblazing the way that, you know what? I'm still an ultra check technician. I'm still with you girlies. We
Yep.
all still together. I'm still ultra bay. I'm still ultra B. I got you. But now you're able to be that voice in that room for that
Mhm.
industry, for
Yes.
that career field. You're like, no, 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 no. That's my name on that manual, and I'm in ultra tech. And
Yes.
I really like
Yes.
that for you. I
I'm
love
able to use the training to also, because part of my consulting business that will be launching in August officially is doing DEI, but not the traditional when we're talking about race and gender, is really talking about the biases on healthcare teams and how it affects patient care and how we need to release our obsession with titles so that we can improve patient outcomes. And so that's one of the things that I've done at work. And they're like, we never thought about that. I'm like, I know. It's fine now.
that's why Javon. Abby, that's why Javon here. I know it must feel good because a lot of people go into healthcare because they want to help people, right?
Mhm.
And I want my voice to be heard. I want to help people, and I want you to know I was the one that helped you. I want my recognition too. I want my roses above ground too. Like I think that that's important. so many positions in the hospital are like that. I will
Mhm.
never forget. There was a candy striper when I was about 8 years old. I'll never forget her. When I was 8 years old, I had to have surgery right here because I had got a big old mass. And I remember there was this candy striper, this little high school. I'll never forget this black girl because when I had woke up from surgery, she was sitting right there. And she was like,
Oh,
"How are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm not doing really good." And she was like, "Okay, I'll go get the nurse." And the nurse came and they helped me and stuff. And that was the only day I saw her. I was in hospital for 2 weeks. And I remember when my grandma picked me up and she said, "How did you like it at the hospital? Are you okay?" Things like that. And I said, there was only one person that ever asked me how I was doing and actually cared. Everybody else was kind of like, with my
rushing.
child, "All right,
Mhm.
how are you feeling today? How, okay, da, 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 da," and everybody else had that. But I would never forget that little candy striper because she
Yep.
gave me a piece of candy and she was like, and I told her, and she asked me, she's like, "Well, how do you feel?" Like she was this little high school girl. And I remember telling her, I was like, "I'm scared." And she's like, "Oh, you don't have to be scared.
Mhm.
I'll go get you a nurse. Don't be scared. I'll sit with you until the nurse gets." So she said, "Stay right there." She went and got a nurse, and like the nurse was going in and out. And I was like, "Why does she keep leaving?" I'll never forget that. And she's like, "I'll stay here until you feel better." I'll never forget that. And I thought in my head, I'm not even for sure if that position even still exists in the hospital. But when it comes to patient care and patient outcomes,
Yeah.
candy striper was very much a part of my journey.
Yes.
That candy striper decreased my heart rate so that my medicine can be taken better,
Yep.
right? That candy striper made it an easier conversation between me and the nurse and made me feel comfortable to say what was really going on with my body. You know what I'm saying? And so, where having accelerated heartbeat or not taking your medication or just not being in that type of state that you need to be in a patient to start to recover. Just someone
Mhm.
saying, "Okay, well, I'll sit with you." And she was just so lackadaisical about everything,
It made that space so much better because I mean, we all have to respect I always tell people, like, if we didn't have janitors in the hospital, would you want to go in there and take that trash out? You would not. And how would your patient feel if that trash was overflowing their whole stay? They're going to be pissed. So we have to respect everybody's role because everybody on the team matters. Because if one person don't show up, if the ultrasound tech don't show up and can't look at your patient's kidneys or their heart, how you going to know what's going on with them?
Oh,
If the x-ray department go on strike and you need an x-ray for your patient, how you going to get it? If the secretaries or the front desk coordinators don't come in, who's answering the phone? Who's coordinating patients? Who's scheduling? Like, every person on our team matters. And so I've been doing a lot of work on just retraining how we view each other in the healthcare system, because I'm like, this has to change because I need everybody to take care of me. I'm sorry,
oh,
because sometimes the doctor don't know what he's talking about. I need.
oh gosh, Giovanna, I want to tell you that from me to you, thank you. Thank you. Because this is all part of a little girl's dream, right? This is a black girl from Compton who really, a lot of times people don't understand how I be thinking because I'm always thinking of how I can make another black woman or another black man. I heard that y'all got 100 new pronouns and shit going on. I'm not going through all of them. I want y'all to know that. I got down to 3. I got she, he, and they. The rest of y'all gotta go for now until I learn them. Till I learn them. But those are the 3 I got for right now. You gotta pick one category.
I'll send you an
No,
email or so.
yeah, y'all got too many going on for me right now. Okay. But for the black folks, I want every black person's voice to matter because it's so important. And for you to take, I want to find our first career coaching call when you said that I'm just an ultrasound technician, right?
Mhm.
To now I am the ultrasound technician.
That part.
That,
Yep.
like, like I like that. It's like, no, no, and so much more pride and confidence. And it lets me know that what I'm doing is important because you're now being the voice for so many, right?
Mhm.
You're the voice right now teaching people about kids on the spectrum. I've learned from you. You're the voice in the room discussing why other positions in the hospital matter. And you're the voice right now building out these processes and systems and writing them down that's being used across different clinics and hundreds and thousands of people's lives you're going to touch. So, Giovanna, I want you to talk to the bees as if you talking to Giovanna 2022, first day of class, when you sat there and you thought Tandy was just blowing, smoke up your ass, and you didn't know if she was really that telling. You was like, I can't do this. I don't know. I just know what I know. Is what you know matters. Let's say, for instance, you speaking to Giovanna. What you
Okay.
want to let her know about that instructional design class?
It's literally going to change your life. So show up. I'm so serious. Show up and be prepared. Like I was like Saturday mornings, I gotta log in. I done paid for this class. I paid for this class. Let me log in. Show up and do the work because it's not like if you don't do the work, somebody's going to be like, oh my God, you got an F. But the doing the work is the most important part because it helps you realize what your strengths are and how amazing you actually are and what you really do know and how you can apply it to get what you actually want. And I was very nervous, but if you show up, you do the work, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Nobody's gonna bite. They will put you on the spot, but nobody's gonna bite. And just do the work. Like show up, do the work, be open-minded, and just trust yourself. Like you know what you want, you know who you are, you know what you're capable of. Believe that at all times.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Giovanna. And guys, guess who just joined? Y'all about to make me cry. So I told you guys I'm a foster care baby, and I've told you guys many a times about my social worker who flew from Compton, California, and flew with me to DC and took money out of her own account to get me a jacket when I was at Howard. Stacy Oddly just commented. I was able to recently get in contact with her through Facebook. So she's a big part of Black on the Job. I've talked about you, Stacy, so many different times. So many different times. It was so impactful to me how she's a Delta. She went to Howard, and when I got in, she was so close to my family. She checked in. So she was my social worker, but she checked in on my siblings, like my little sister, my little brother. She flew out with me, and she had like a little girl. She had just had a baby. And so like now being an adult, I even realized how much more intentional that was. As a social worker, I graduated in 2008 to pick up your baby in the car seat, right? And to fly to DC for this little Compton girl who ended up dropping out of Howard. But I got a business now, Stacey. It wasn't for vain. It wasn't for vain. Could have seemed like that for a few years, but I came back with the jump off. I'm here today because she really made me believe that she believed in me by action, right? By that action. So, it's funny because it's instructional design day, and we really do earmark this and focus this on our social service fields and on our healthcare fields, especially the ones who get overlooked. So they can go from the just to the. Now, I'm not just a social worker. I am the social worker. I'm not just the ultra tech. I'm the ultra tech. I know you believed in me, Stacy, and I love you too. My mom and I talk about you so much. You make me cry. Y'all about to make me cry here. Y'all, she poured into me so much. I was not a diamond in a rough, y'all. I was like the Swarovski's crystal stuffs that you get, it just looked like a diamond. It's gonna do what it needs to do. Right. Oh gosh. But yes, I hope that a lot of you guys sign up. It's this weekend. Tandy's teaching the class. She's really great at teaching. But I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm glad that Giovanna was honest with you guys. It is good work. It's not hard work. It's challenging work. It's
Mhm.
expansive work. But You know what you know, and she's going to put that with you and pull you forward. Have you been able to book other consulting gigs and things on the side as well?
I have done, what else have I done?
Girl, you
I
be doing too much.
do. I do a lot, and a lot of it is because I just said I want to start my own business, and I know all these things, and so like one of my former doctors is like, "Oh yeah, you should do this, and you want to meet me here, and you want to meet this person, and you want to do this," and she keeps trying to get me to come work for her. That ain't happening, but it's like I do have a lot of things planned and lined up because I'm just excited for what is coming. Like I've set the stage, like I'm like, all right, this is what I want, and now I'm doing it.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I am so, so proud of you. I hope a lot of you guys see us this weekend. And y'all gonna have y'all Giovanna stories. Y'all gonna be up here with us next year.
Yes.
Anna, you are leading the way. You are trailblazing the way. My little health tech B. You a tech girl B. Now you a tech B. You a baddie B.
I
Yeah.
know, right? I feel special. I'm smart. I know that.
Well, we love. Thank you so much for coming and speaking to the bees and letting
Thank
them know
you.
it's possible. We will plan out that path for you. Like Giovanna said, she's still going to her classroom that's still open.
Yes, I
2 years
do.
later, pull some of the
I do.
materials. And you know what? Today we pulled them same materials and put it in this new classroom. I said they gonna like this shit. They better use this because I sometimes use it. I be like,
You have access, and I will use it. Them Canva templates is in a little folder. Yep, this is what I need.
and she really teaches you. She really teaches you. She makes you feel like you can do it because you can, because you know what you know. All right, guys. I'm about to try to get on my little situation like Giovanna is, but I will see y'all this weekend. The link to the
Bye.
workshop is right there. It's pinned. It's also in the comments. Y'all can inbox me. But bye, little tech B or ultra tech B. Ultra B.
Thank you.
Love, peace, and honey, guys. Bye.